Have you ever broken your arm, your foot, anything? Have you ever experienced pain? I'm sure you have. What research shows us is that when we feel pain, it shows up in a particular part of the brain. What more modern research shows us too is that when we feel somebody violates our dignity, somebody disrespects us, somebody fundamentally does not treat us in a humane manner, it shows up in our brain exactly like if we broke our wrist, our arm, our foot. Our brain does not distinguish between physical and psychological violations. This is an important insight that is emerging. That our need to be recognized as fundamentally human, we call this dignity, is a critical cornerstone to good leadership. As we are exploring in this course, excellence in leadership, not just any type of leadership, I think the notion of dignity is quite helpful. It is not a very common notion, even though it has a long tradition. And it probably is sort of the foundation of why we as a species decided at some point that slavery really is not a great thing. We don't necessarily want to deprive people of their freedom in that way and make them quasi-animals. We have a sense, a moral sense, that we want to treat people like we want to be treated. Many wisdom traditions share that and actually exhort us to act like that, to treat people with dignity. You might say, this sounds great, this sounds nice, but this is so naive. It may be. On the other hand, the science shows us that those leaders that are able to recognize people as people are outperforming others. Not because they want to outperform, but simply because people feel valued. They appreciate working with people that honor them and that recognize their dignity, that can treat them humanely. This could be seen and dismissed as an insight from Sunday school, and in many conversations in business contexts, it is. On the other hand, I would submit to you that this is a very crucial insight that will gain a lot more support in the future when we are looking at how we can, as leaders, as managers, address the challenges that we're facing. If we are able to recognize the humanity in us and in others, we probably come up with different solutions to the problems that we're facing. We probably would not accept that people get treated like slaves. We probably would not accept that people are working in conditions that we would never want to work in. We probably would not accept that we're destroying the environment to such a degree that we can't actually live there anymore. There are many things that we wouldn't accept if we took this notion of dignity, of us as fully human, and others as equally fully human more seriously. We wouldn't treat people as human resources. The term itself describes that people are resources, not people. We oftentimes use the term human capital. This is the language that we're using, and the language manifests how people feel treated. And I ask you whether you'd like to be considered human capital or a human resource, or whether you feel much better when you're treated as a human being with dignity. So I submit to you that an important perspective on leadership can be built on this four-drive theory, suggesting that when those four drives are in balance, we recognize people as people. And once we do that, we can build on that and we can create solutions, work with people, work in teams in different ways that allow us to come up with much more creative and better and longer lasting solutions to the problems that we're facing.